A Huntsville community seeking a solution to too much noise coming from a busy nearby roadway. A potential start to the search was on tonight's City Council agenda, but residents say the problems have only increased over the years. Fox 54's Gabe Glassman takes us to Sherwood Park.
Residents in the Sherwood Park community are raising concerns over traffic noise coming directly from Research Park Boulevard.
At nighttime when you're trying to sleep, it's really bad. You've got motorcycles going up and down the highway. You've got cars racing constantly.
Resident Lisa Bradford says it's gotten worse over the years. She's even started a petition on change.org to shed light on the issues her community is facing. And it's not just about the sound.
It's a safety issue. Back in 2019, a vehicle lost a tire, which bounced into a neighbor's backyard and broke some playground equipment while the kids were outside. They weren't injured. Everybody was fine, but this is not only noise, it's safety. We all agree something needs to be done, and the last straw was when the tire came off and bounced into someone's backyard.
The City Council is now beginning the search for a resolution, voting to direct the Metropolitan Planning Organization to request that the Alabama Department of Transportation perform a noise study to determine the next steps.
There's been problems and concerns that have been expressed to me by both the Sherwood Park as well as the Steeplechase neighborhoods. Both neighborhoods are adjacent to the Alabama Highway 255, or what we call Right Out Road. And traffic has been increasing, and the noise for those people who live there is greatly increased over what it was when they originally bought their homes. Basically what we're doing, and again in the spirit of cooperation, is contacting the Alabama Highway Department, ask them to take a look at this situation to see if there are any remedies that they could come up with.
Bradford says a sound study was conducted before construction of the extended highway even began, and requirements for further action were not met. In Huntsville, Gabe Glassman, Fox 54 News.
Residents living along Strain Road in Athens brought their frustrations to the City Council tonight, speaking during public comment about flooding, sewage issues, and delays to a long-planned infrastructure project. The project would address drainage and sewer issues along West and East Strain Road. The work is divided into phases, starting with drainage improvements before moving to sewer work. Fox 54's Valentina Chalala has more on what residents had to say tonight.
The city says the project is moving forward, but work can't start just yet. And that has residents wondering how much longer they'll have to deal with flooding and sewage problems.
It does not take that long to get something done if you are concerned about it.
Several Strain Road residents spoke during public comment, saying they've been dealing with these problems for decades. Many say they're frustrated there's still no clear timeline, especially as the city moves forward with other projects.
When it rains a whole lot, our yard is flooded out. Sometimes our toilets don't want to flush right. Sometimes it backs up in our sink, in our tubs, and everything else.
The city first applied for funding for the project back in 2024, and members of the Limestone County NAACP say they've been speaking with City Council about conditions in the area for months. Many of the people living along Strain Road are Black residents, which the NAACP says is part of why they've become involved.
There is definitely some injustice going on at this point. It is so clear that these people are living in conditions that are so detrimental to their health, their well-being. So the NAACP has every right to fight along with these people with this endeavor.
Mayor Ronnie Marks says he still can't give a timeline for the project because the city is working through design changes and property issues, adding the flooding issues also have to be fixed before the city can fully address the sewer problems.
You have groundwater that gets into the sewer systems and also into the septic tanks. So if we don't address the groundwater flow, then you're not going to be able to properly address the sewer.
Mark says the city plans to tackle the project in stages, starting with West Strain Road before moving to the east side. In Athens, I'm Valentina Chalala, Fox 54 News.
Mark says part of the delay has been working with property owners on the west side of Strain Road while engineers redraw ditch lines. He says the city is committed to getting the project done. A public hearing drew a large crowd in Marshall County tonight as residents weighed in on a proposed limestone quarry near Gunnersville. This project is still in the state permitting process, but people on both sides of the issue packed the room to voice their opinions. Reed Materials LLC is seeking state air and water permits for proposed limestone quarry off Warrenton Road near Gunnersville. Fox 54's Valentina Chalala spoke with residents who say they're concerned about what the project could mean for their community.
This limestone has been in Marshall County for millions of years, and now a company wants to mine it through a proposed quarry that would crush and process it. But residents who live near here say they're worried the project could bring more dust, heavy truck traffic, and possible impacts to groundwater in the area. During Thursday night's hearing, people raised questions about air quality, water safety, road damage, and blasting near homes. Some residents also asked ADEM to pause the permit process until an EPA review can be completed, and as they put it, the community can feel confident every environmental concern has been addressed.
I'm in such close proximity to it I'm concerned about what it's going to do to our air quality. We are people who like to leave the doors open, the windows open and everything, and it's just going to take away a lot of our lifestyle.
ADEM says its preliminary review shows the project should meet environmental standards, though public comments could still impact the final decision. While many spoke against the quarry, others argued people support growth until it happens in their own backyard. Roger Miller, who worked in blasting for years, says he believes many of the blasting safety concerns are overstated.
It's a very scientific procedure. If you throw all this rock up in the air, you're making a mistake. You're wasting energy that could be used to move the rock.
Although they declined to comment, a spokesperson for Reed Materials says the company is committed to operating in full compliance with regulations and says the project could create between 10 and 12 jobs. In Marshall County, I'm Valentina Chalala, Fox 54 News.
ADEM says written public comments on the proposed quarry will continue to be accepted through tomorrow at 5 p.m. You can submit comments through the ADEM website or by emailing airmail at adem.alabama.gov. An expansion to Big Spring Park could see detours and delays along Church Street throughout the summer. However, city officials stress that it's not permanent, only while they upgrade the roadway. But it's all for pedestrian access to the site of a new green space for Big Spring Park, pictured right here. According to the city, it'll better integrate the east side of the park to the west. Fox 54's Keith Baguayo brings us downtown to show us the project's impact.
The cones are already going up on the northbound side of Church Street as crews make progress on a pavilion expansion to Big Spring Park. However, a major concern among residents is how the construction could impact traffic.
As is typical in any kind of road construction, we do have to sometimes detour people, and I think for most of the construction, the traffic will be changed to one lane each direction just to accommodate the construction, but then once the construction is completed, it opens back up fully. So we have had questions about does this permanently alter the travel lanes, and it does not. This in no way affects the travel lanes.
But it will close some of those lanes in the short term. From July 10th until August 14th, Church Street will become a two-lane road as crews consolidate traffic to install a median and a new crosswalk on the southern end of the street.
And residents have mixed opinions about the expansion. While some say they want more green space, others mention the coming traffic delays and road closures along Church Street.
When you have a lot of people walking around and you have things like you have your park, you have your ponds, it's going to get people out. And in my opinion, I think you should prioritize pedestrian safety.
I can't even keep a straight line with my car without, hitting a pothole or something. There's a lot of needs out here, and I feel like we're still pumping money into what's already beautiful. Why aren't we restoring what needs to be restored?
I believe it'd be great for the community and everybody else who likes to bring their kids and feed the ducks and enjoy the park in general.
It'll be fun. I don't know what they're going to build, but I think it's going to be cool.
During the roadway improvements this summer, the city is encouraging drivers to plan ahead, be cautious, and look for alternate routes if possible. In Huntsville, I'm Caleb Aguayo, Fox 54 News.
Everyone seems excited, including the kiddos. Well, the majority of lane closures begin in July and the roads will reopen when they're finished. Crews are expecting the pavilion construction to be finished by the end of the year. We're just a couple weeks away from one of the largest events Decatur has ever hosted. We've been following the preparations for Rock the South for months, but as the countdown ticks down, performances and final logistics are officially locking into place. Ticket holders have already locked in their daily itineraries around the star-studded schedule performing at the fields at Decatur. Fox 54's Logan Alexandra Russell shares the details on the city's final preparations for the biggest party in the South.
Heavy machinery is already on site as teams work to get roads and parking situated. Organizers say the full production crew will hit the ground running in the coming days to assemble stages, transplant restrooms, and build out a mini Music City in the River City from scratch.
It's community. I mean, right? The South is coming to Decatur, Alabama with some great A-listers like Jason Aldean, Riley Green, Zach Top, Jesse Murph, like some great people. And it's going to be in our hometown. So it's going to be a lot of fun and it's going to be a lot of community as well.
With the daily schedule completely locked in for the 3-day weekend, local residents are already mapping out their plans for the epic stretch running June 11th through June 13th.
I think because it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I think I'm going to go Friday and Saturday if possible.
Are there any artists in particular you're looking forward to seeing if you go?
Jason Aldean, and there's Big X the Plug coming.
The multi-stage layout is set to introduce new fan experiences, including the brand new Raised Rowdy stage, dedicated to up-and-coming performers.
I've heard so much about it. It'll bring a lot of business to Decatur too, but I think it's a great opportunity for Decatur.
Logistics teams promise that all in-house management systems are down to a science, with massive staff on hand to guarantee directional signage and parking timelines run smoothly. For Decatur, the assignment now is simple. Be ready to welcome over 15,000 country music fans to its doorstep. The time for planning is officially over. The countdown to the biggest party in the South is on. In Decatur, Logan Alexandra Russell, FOX54 News.
Yeah, it's almost here. If you want to join in on the festivities, tickets and camping passes still available. Organizers say the best way to navigate the grounds and stay updated on the performance times for both stages is by visiting rockthesouth.com. A family searching for answers after their dog was shot and killed Friday. They've gone to their neighbors and the sheriff's office, but so far they haven't learned anything about how their dog was killed. It happened here in the 140 block of Fox Ridge Drive in Harvest, a local subdivision surrounded by woods on one side and neighborhoods on the other. Fox 54's Caleb Aguayo takes us there to speak to the family and neighbors as they search for answers.
The Moore family is hurting and searching for information about how their dog, Anita, was killed on Friday, saying whoever did this needs to be held accountable. This is Anita, the family's 90-pound dog that they say was hit by a pellet gun in their backyard Friday morning between about 10 and 11 a.m. She went inside to the bathroom and lay down on the floor, bleeding, when the family's daughter found her. They attempted CPR and took her to the vet, where Anita died from internal bleeding, the vet saying the bullet nicked one of her arteries.
I felt really bad, and just seeing how sad she was and something that seemed like a normal, quiet day for something like that to happen. My across the street neighbor, she's been keeping her dog in. I'm not hearing as many dogs in general right now. Everybody's trying to keep everybody inside.
The family is now devastated at the loss of their 8-year-old dog, telling Fox 54 they don't know what happened, but want the shooter to face some sort of consequences. Pamela Moore, the family's mother, says Anita could have been shot by a child who was target practicing or an adult deliberately shooting her. But Moore says whoever is responsible needs to be educated on shooting safety before something like this happens again.
If it were kids shooting and they don't understand what's behind their targets and it was a stray bullet, they need to be educated. Worse, if it was somebody who actually targeted my dog, aimed and fired, and that person, number one, needs to have their gun taken away from them, needs to be educated, and needs to be punished.
The Madison County Sheriff's Office said in a statement to Fox 54, detectives are currently reviewing the information provided and looking into the circumstances surrounding this matter. Anyone with information is encouraged to contact the Madison County Sheriff's Office.
The family has announced a $1,000 reward for any information leading to the arrest of whoever might have done this. In Harvest, I'm Caleb Aguayo, Fox 54 News.
The sheriff's office is now working with the family to find out how this happened, sending an investigator to retrieve the pellet and look around the neighborhood for clues. And more than 40 veterans organizations and Gold Star families took part in the laying of the wreaths during the hour-long program. The Memorial Day celebration stretched beyond the Rocket City, with multiple events happening across the Tennessee Valley. In Guntersville, a highly emotional event remembering those who sacrificed their lives for our country's freedoms. You can see packed stands at Guntersville, including many United States military veterans. The community gathering to reflect, remember, and pay tribute to those who lost their lives while in service. Fox 54's Gabe Glassman has this story.
Memorial Day is a sacred day
Memorial Day offers a chance for us to remember those who lost their lives while fighting for our country.
My time in the service was so important, and it just means everything to me to honor all of these people. Currently, to date, there's been almost 2 million Americans that have lost their lives in America's wars, and we need to honor them every chance we get, because we're living under their freedom that they bought us.
For many in attendance, emotions ran high, leaving heavily impacted.
I was Marine Corps, and we lost 181 Marines at the Beirut bombing, and had many friends that we lost there. I served 3.5 years in Iraq, and I lost very close friends, people that worked side by side with us. And this is my time to think of them, to honor them, to remember their sacrifice that we can still enjoy today.
After the combat engagement, my father was killed in action.
Emotions peaked when Jason Shy Digger, a Gold Star family member, took to the microphone to tell the story about his father, Staff Sergeant Gary Epps, who was killed in 1983 in Grenada. Shy Digger was only 8 years old at the time.
Memorial Day is not a meaning. It has no meaning. It's a feeling. You feel Memorial Day. I do. It's not a meaning. You can't describe it.
Even though I know what it is, when you see that raw emotion, that does something to you. And so I'm very appreciative of him for sharing that, because that wasn't easy to do.
Shy Digger says he takes Memorial Day to reflect on the memories he had with his father, adding telling the story is an obligation he carries forward.
It's something that I owed back. It's my price to pay. It's just what I have to give, and I tried to give a little bit of that today and let some people into my world.
In Gunnersville, Gabe Glassman, FOX54 News.
What a tribute. Shy Digger says the youth are the ones needing to hear stories like his father's the most, adding it's most important for them to understand the impact the men and women serving our country have on our lives. For more stories about the people, places, and things that built America, check out the FOX54 app. You can watch anytime, anywhere, and for free.
As America celebrates 250 years of independence, a focus has been placed on those who fought for our freedoms. This includes a grave-marking ceremony today, honoring a Revolutionary War patriot who served this country back in 1776. It's something I was able to witness, alongside dozens of others in Culver County. This musket salute, honoring Private Shadrach Gibbs.
It's extremely important that we honor our ancestors who fought for our independence, because without them, where we are today, we wouldn't be here.
Gibbs fought during the Revolutionary War, serving with the South Carolina militia. He made the move to North Alabama after the war.
This goes directly to the mission of the SARs, promoting patriotic service and remembering those that sacrificed everything for our freedom and our liberties.
The Shoals area chapter of the Sons of the American Revolution helping put together this grave-marking ceremony for Private Gibbs. Local chapter president Alex Dunwa says today also brings education for those in attendance.
It's also important that we work to promote patriotism and educate our community about the sacrifices they performed, so that way they have a greater appreciation for the independence and the liberties we have today.
We try to further the education for American youth, especially on the meaning of the Revolutionary War and how their freedoms that they enjoy today are so important, and then promoting again community service by helping maintain cemeteries and marking graves like this of the nearly 119 or more Revolutionary War soldiers that helped found Alabama.
State Sons of the American Revolution President Ronald Dane says it's important to honor someone who was willing to sacrifice their life 250 years ago.
It's interesting that we do it the day before Memorial Day, where we honor those that did give their lives in the service of the country to promote freedom. And if we do our jobs correctly and promote our understanding, 250 years from now, our descendants can remember what we did on this day to make sure that the country goes forward.
Danes adds they encourage youth to understand what it took to found our country and what it means to cherish our liberties and freedoms.
While in Florence, families commemorated Memorial Day with a wall of remembrance for the heroes who gave their lives, either at home, during training, or under foreign skies. The theme, One Nation, Many Stories. And all of those stories are of loss. The missing seat at the dinner table, the children that are without a father, and the reunions that are missing a friend. Fox 54's Caleb Aguayo takes us to Florence for that remembrance.
I served during the Cold War, and during my Cold War years, I lost 6 friends training for the defense of our country. Memorial Day and Veterans Days are great days to rededicate our lives to living lives worthy of the courage and sacrifices and prayers of our forefathers.
Lieutenant Colonel Ed Yielding is just one of millions across the country with stories of friends and family who lost their lives in the line of duty.
Each one here today has a story. They all have a story that they can tell about either a loved one, a friend, fellow soldier, someone that's in their life that's no longer in their life. And to tell that story means a whole lot for us to never forget.
Many of the people here tell me Memorial Day isn't just another long weekend. They say whatever you're doing, take a moment and reflect on the sacrifices made yesterday that are giving you a tomorrow to celebrate.
If we're out there enjoying our barbecues, doing whatever their family's doing, to understand that they are doing this because people have paid the ultimate price.
According to Mayor Ron Tyler, it's the ultimate price that gives us the ability to celebrate with the people still here.
These people who gave their lives for us are the ones who put their own safety, put themselves at risk between the enemy and this country, so people could be safe at home and could be safe in their beds, so they could grill out today, they could go to baseball games today. Somebody had to go and stand in the gap.
And it's the ones who stood in that gap that many families in the city of Florence are remembering today. In Florence, I'm Caleb Aguayo, Fox 54 News.
Many people at the ceremony told Fox 54 the best way to remember the fallen is to live a life with purpose that honors their sacrifice each and every day. Wise words to live by. For more stories about the people, places, and things that built America, check out the Fox 54 app. You can watch anytime, anywhere for free. Unofficial summer has started, the school year has ended, and what a year it's been. I'm excited to end this year's Fox 54's top teacher with a standing ovation for Christina Griffin at Riverton Intermediate School. Take a listen.
All right, for me, congratulations. You are Fox 54's top teacher. Yes, yes.
A worthy honor for Christina Griffin. She teaches 5th graders at Riverton Intermediate School, and this is her 2nd year here. She's taught a total of 8 years between Alabama and North Carolina, and she explains what keeps her 5th graders focused and successful.
I think the most important thing is establishing a purpose for them. They have to want it. I can want it for them, but they have to want it as well. And so I think that is the first thing, but also building relationships with them. My favorite thing about teaching is having relationships with them. And my first group of kids is graduating from high school this year, so I'm getting to see them actually start to go into the things that they're interested in and go out into the world, and that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, well, Assistant Principal Jennifer Taylor says Griffin's passion for her 5th graders really shows, and it's what helps them advance to the next grade level.
She has a passion for intervention and really making sure that every student gets what they need to grow, and her classroom is just a very happy place to be, and her students feel that when they are with her.
Love it. Well, congratulations, Christina, and all of our Fox 54 top teachers honored this school year. Check out our top teacher special on demand on the Fox 54 app, and we're always looking for nominations. Be sure to submit a deserving teacher on fox54.com. Fox 54 top teacher returns in September.